Okay. Good evening. It's now 6:30. I'd like to call the regular Cultural Heritage Commission meeting of September 19th to order. Before I proceed, I'd like to announce a few protocols today. Cultural Heritage Commission meeting will be conducted in person to maximize public safety while maintaining transparency and public access. Some folks may choose to observe the meeting via Zoom. Would staff take the roll call?
Commissioner Cross,
Present.
Commissioner Ding,
Here.
Commissioner Severson,
Here.
Vice Chair Morris,
Here.
Chair Lopez, excused absence.
Next, we move on to the approval of the agenda. Commissioners, do you have any questions, requests, divisions, revisions to the agenda? If so, raise your hand. Seeing no requests, I would like a vote of the commission to proceed with the approval of the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Commissioner Cross? Second? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Okay, we'll proceed. The next is the disclosure by commissioners of site visits and any contact with items on today's agenda. Commissioner Cross?
Yes, I made just a drive-by visit to each site.
Commissioner Ding?
Nothing to report.
Commissioner Severson?
Nothing to report.
And I have nothing to report. All right, the next is public comment for general items that are not on today's agenda. Has staff received any comments for people who would like to speak on things not on today's agenda?
We have not received any public comments in chambers. Guests on Zoom, please click the hand icon to make a public comment on matters not on the agenda. And we do not have public comments via Zoom.
Okay, we will move on to the consent calendar, which are the minutes from the meeting of July 18th. Does anybody have any comments or corrections? Make a motion
No.
to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar agenda item number 2.
Okay, second.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No? All right, minutes carry. We will move on to our public hearing, which is 1725 Bank Street. A request for a certificate of appropriateness for a 620 square foot first floor addition and a 738 square foot second floor addition to an existing 2430 square foot, 2-story, single-family dwelling on 1725 Bank.
Thank you, Vice Chair Morris. Good evening, Commission members. I am Tatiana Marin, and I'll be presenting item number 3 on today's agenda, project number COA 24-0010, located at 1725 Bank Street. This project was continued from the August 15, 2024 CHC meeting. Can you move it, Lily? Thank you. Okay. Here we have an aerial view of the site. The subject site is a rectangular shaped lot located on the south side of Bank Street. The lot measures approximately 14,811 square feet. It is zoned RS for residential low density and is surrounded to the north, east, west, and south by 1 to 2-story residential uses. The subject site is currently developed with a 2,430 square foot 2-story single-family residence and a 781 square foot detached garage. The home was originally built in 1910 in the craftsman style. The subject site is categorized as a 5B1 status per the California Historical Resource Status Codes as a contributor to a district that is listed or designated locally. The applicant is requesting approval of a certificate of appropriateness to construct a 620 square foot first floor addition and a 738 square foot second floor addition to the rear. When complete, the home will total 4,255 square feet of floor area with 5 bedrooms. And just to get into some background, the project was originally presented at the August 15, 2024 meeting, and it was continued to the following meeting due to some of the design concerns. The CHC determined the item to be continued due to the following: a redesign of the front facade to maintain the historic character of the craftsman style home, specifically a redesign of the proposed bay window, the first floor addition bump out, and the extended roof line below the proposed bay window, and to provide more differentiation to highlight the new addition from the original building. I will be mainly presenting on the changes made to the front north elevation, since this is where most of the changes were made. Here we have the existing north elevation. And here is the proposed design of the front north elevation from the August 15, 2024 CHC meeting. And here we have the revised proposed design of the front elevation. The proposed redesign includes maintaining the proposed extended roofline and bay window while reducing the number of windows by proposing only one window to reduce the symmetrical essence. In addition, to reduce the symmetry of the front facade alterations, the first floor addition to the front is proposed to now have a water table with cedar lap siding. And additionally, the redesign includes providing differentiation through a custom cedar shingle spacing and custom cedar brackets. You can see the changes highlighted in green. And here we have the revised south elevation showing an example of how the addition will be differentiated from the original building through the custom cedar shingle spacing, also highlighted in green. And here we have the revised colored renderings to reflect those changes. And in conclusion, staff recommends that the Cultural Heritage Commission find the project exempt from CEQA pursuant to Section 15301, Class 1 for existing facilities, since the project is not adding more than 10,000 square feet to the existing structure. And pursuant to Section 15331, Class 31 for historical resource restoration and rehabilitation, as the project is proposing modifications to a potential historic resource. Lastly, staff recommends that the Cultural Heritage Commission approve the project subject to the conditions of approval. That concludes staff's presentation. Staff is happy to answer any questions you may have, as well as the project applicant is here to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for staff?
No.
Seeing none. Does the applicant have a presentation?
You do-
Okay. Would you like to make a presentation? You don't have to make a presentation. Okay. Would you like to come up and then if we have any questions of the applicant? Does anybody have any questions of the applicant? Questions of the applicant? No? Okay. Then I will open the public hearing. Staff, do we have any comments on this? From the public?
We have not received any public comments in chambers. Attendees participating on Zoom, please click the hand icon to make a public comment on item number 3. And we do not have public comments via Zoom.
Then we will close the public hearing. Any additional comments from yourselves?
I have no comments. I'm prepared to move forward.
Would you like to have it begin the discussion, or did somebody want to make a motion?
Well- Let's just discuss from the last meeting, what's been done. The architect could just make those comments for the record.
Yes, good evening. So, the 3 primary, you guys, had, asked me to consider, some of your recommendations. And so the 3 primary manners to differentiate the addition from the existing house, are by, one of them is the water table, which has is picking up on what other the residences, the immediate neighbors that are doing as well. So that's a kind of unifying as well to the historical district. That's the first thing, and that's primarily on the back, all the addition on the back, and as well the addition on the front. The second manner is it's a custom. I don't know if she had a good sample. Maybe you guys have it as well. It's a photograph of just how the lap siding laps tighter. If that perhaps if you've seen that. So okay, good. So it's a manner to keep the 5 3/8 exposure of the cedar shingles, but you can play with that so that they still line up and have to do, I thought it was tasteful to line up with the existing house, the main structure, and then to play with it and then come back and line up with it. So that's been done for hundreds of years, and it's a unique way to have our project tie into the existing home. And the third one is the custom brackets to support for the addition, to differentiate from the main off the shelf craftsman style brackets that this if we, yeah, that's, and when we propose to do that in a custom way for like any good design for the clients, these will be musically inspired. That's where we're at.
I guess the only thing that that I'm most concerned about is the bump out on the front facade that was discussed last time. And
Yes.
it looks like the
Yeah.
bump out is there and the water table actually calls more attention to it. I think it's a very nice detail, but I think being on the front facade of the house, I think that is that's something that I'm not comfortable with. I think everything else you've done is very tasteful and nice. The detailing of the shingles and the supports that you've done, I think that's all very nice. But I guess my sentiments are the same as the meeting last month with the bump out in the
Mhm.
living room, changing the front facade of the house. I don't know if anyone else has concerns with that, but that's my primary.
So in part, it's how it's differentiated, right?
No, it's not how it's
Okay.
differentiated. It's grabbing that space on the front of the house. It's,
Okay, I understand.
in the plan, you can, I mean, it's the bump out on the first floor.
Oh, sure,
plan.
sure, sure. No, you don't need, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way, but that's I guess something that I was hoping would be addressed from the last meeting, but
Well, what was addressed is, above, that the windows aren't simply symmetrical of what's on the other side. So, that's definitely unique to this side of the addition. That's above, and of course below we're coming forward. So it's not just the true bilateral symmetry of the facade. It's obviously not obviously, but it's just not, it's not the original house. But other than, so in the back is where I clearly have a differentiation. And in the front, it's kind of a balance with respect to the water table, trying to have a manner to differentiate the plane of the addition. But yeah, we need the addition, the front.
Well, I concur with you. This doesn't show much in the way of landscaping. There's gonna be
Right, but
bush there, it breaks it up.
yeah, we've gone all out with the landscaping. I even have the drawings with me, if you know, you'll see them again. Yeah, there'll be lots of color in the landscaping in particular.
Anybody want to make a motion or do we?
I don't want to be the lone wolf. I don't want to be the bad cop here. I'm trying to take the design standards that were put in front of us as commissioners and apply that to this project and the next one we'll be reviewing. But if that is not something that you guys feel strongly about, then I don't want to be the one that's holding, so.
Definitely, I appreciate it. And I do appreciate the standards. You could meet the standard by saying still is sort of favorite house, the architecture style of the house. And there are other standards that say it's using the square footage of the apartments. Still livable, still context with it, but I think I could make the standards. I don't know, did you make the findings, Mr. Cross? Oh, is that what we need to do in order to make up?
Those would answer your question, yes. And the reason being is I've seen houses timelines that were originally similar to this, where the porch did not go all the way across. And to me, it's just the materials are the most important thing here, because you're not changing proportions of the house. It's just that one room. Ours, it's not like you're wiping out the whole front porch. So it still has give to it. So I don't particularly have a big problem.
Everyone's keeps looking at me. Uh, I'm okay moving forward with this. Yeah, I can make a motion. I will make a motion that for 17.
Sorry, Commissioner Dean, real quick. Vice Chair Morris, did you close the public hearing? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll make a motion that for this project, 1725 Bank Street, that the project is exempt from CEQA and that I can make the mandatory findings and site-specific findings 2, 5, and 8 and move to approve project COA 24-0010, subject to the conditions of approval.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Cross,
Yes.
Commissioner Ding,
Yes.
Commissioner Severson,
Still gonna. Yes.
Vice Chair Morris. Motion carries.
This project has been approved subject to the.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Ding will chair this item.
Okay, so for agenda item number 4, we'll just note that Commissioner Morris has recused herself because she has financial interest in a property within 1,000 feet of the parcel we're talking about. And it is a request for a certificate of appropriateness for a 963 square foot first floor addition, 753 second foot addition, and a new porch, rear porch at 1831 Laurel Street. Okay, staff, do we have a presentation?
Good evening, Commissioners, members of the public. So the applicant did request a continuance of this item to the next scheduled hearing in October. So at this point, staff's recommending that the commission make a motion to continue the item to the next scheduled meeting in October.
So, do you have a question?
They didn't provide a reason, but that's the request.
Do I have to go through all this or just make a motion to continue?
You just make a motion.
Okay. So I will, I'll go ahead and make a motion to continue the item, agenda item number 4 to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we get a roll call?
Commissioner Cross, Commissioner Ding,
Yes.
Commissioner Severson,
Yes.
motion carries.
Um, come back and resume her Charlie duties.
Okay, I'm back. We are now on to item number 5, which is 203 Oaklawn Avenue. A recommendation to the council for proposed Mills Act contract.
Thank you, Commissioner Morris, and good evening, fellow commissioners. So for today's item, it's item number 5, project number MIL 24-0001 for 203 Oaklawn Avenue. And once again, it's a Mills Act contract recommendation. Sorry. All right, so just for a quick background, on February 26th of this year, a letter of intent was filed for the Mills Act application. And then later on March, sorry. No, April. April of 18th, the CHC was formed a subcommittee. And then subsequently to that, in May, the subcommittee and the staff visited the site. And the subcommittee determined that the property merits consideration by the CHC. And then in June, a formal Mills application was filed. So for the Mills Act contract, the home is included in the city's inventory of historic resources, and the CHC is the recommending body for the Mills contract, and City Council will have the ultimate authority for approval. So location of the property, so it's 203 Oaklawn Avenue. The structure was built in 1912, and the zone is residential estate, and it is part of the Oaklawn Historic District, with a lot size of approximately 13,578 square feet and a building area of approximately 5,162 square feet. So here are 2 elevations. The front here is the primary frontage, which is the east side, and the one to the right there is the north elevation, which is the street side. So the 2-story single-family home was originally built in 1912. And along the primary frontier on the east elevation, what we can see is a symmetrical massing with a central projection, a front porch with a balustrade supported by square posts and Tuscan columns. The central window on the second floor has decorative plaster framing, and the first floor features 2 wide wood entry doors with large glazing and decorative metal grills. There's a flat roof and an overhanging with a dented cornice. On the north elevation, some of the key features here has a recess loggia with a triple arch facing a curved driveway, which has 2 separate entrances. And the site is also surrounded by a solid wall that is a large royal stone post along Columbia Street and Fremont Avenue. So this is just a quick review of the rehabilitation and restoration plan as anticipated. There is a total of 24 items here. So you can see the estimated cost for each, along with the year that is projected to be completed. We have the second page here. And the estimated cost for everything right now is $448,484. And the projected timeline is from 2025 to 2031. Thank you. So the criteria for a Mills Act contract is laid out right here. So we have for the first, it's financial investment, we have public benefit, retroactive limitations, limitations on maintenance, limitations on interior work, and limitations on landscaping. So in reviewing the application, staff has determined that items 12 and 16 on the rehabilitation and restoration plan and the proposed scope of work do not meet criteria 5, which is the limitations on interior work. And those are the electrical upgrades, new gravity furnace, and asbestos mitigation. Because it does not improve the structural integrity of the property or preserve and maintain character defining features specifically identified as part of the official landmark nomination, and or preserve and maintain character defining features of the property that were discovered subsequent to its landmark designation. So in this case, the property is not a landmark designated site. And those proposed upgrades do not improve the structural integrity of the property. So for its fiscal impact here, the total cost of the proposed work, excluding those two items, if they are deemed to not meet criteria 4, is $354,384. The estimated tax savings over the 10-year period is $198,000, and the estimated cost to the city over the 10-year period is $51,714. So the recommendation is to find that the project is exempt from CEQA pursuant to section 15308, and also recommending that the Cultural Heritage Commission review and recommend to the City Council to enter into a Mills Act contract for the property located at 203 Oak Lawn Avenue. Thank you. Any questions?
Does anybody have any questions of staff? I have one question. On the staff report, on the first page, you said you determined that items 12 and 20.
Yeah, sorry. Excuse me. 20 is the mistype, so it's 16.
So
12 and 16.
20.
Correct. Yes.
16?
Correct. Yes. For the criteria, it lists on, bring this up here. So for the first one, it's the financial investment, which that is not for that. And then for questions on the limitations on maintenance or the interior work.
8, obtaining a structural. That's not just routine maintenance. That's allowed under Mills Act. I've asked this before. And it said, yes, it's allowed.
I would think it is.
Yeah.
It's actually repair, not
It's not maintenance. Yeah.
Typically,
All right. I think you're probably, it's not excluded and you didn't mean to exclude it. Okay.
No,
Very good. Those are my only questions. So the staff report should be 12.
and 16.
12.
Yes, for the record, it's
12.
12 and
Okay.
16, correct.
Okay.
And then also ultimately, again, the commission has the authority to find if the other two items that are listed, 12 and 16, whether or not they meet the criteria. This is just staff's findings.
Okay. All right. Any other questions of staff? No? Okay. Thank you very much. Does the applicant have a presentation or you don't need to make one? We have. Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any particular questions of the applicant? No? Okay. Then I will open the public hearing. Are there any public comments on this item?
We have not received any requests for public comments in chambers, and we do not have any participating attendees on Zoom.
Okay, thank you. Then I will close the public hearing, and we can discuss it amongst ourselves.
Well, yes, I attended. And the house, while it's been taken care of, it's old. And it does need to be preserved. And if there was ever a candidate for the Mills Act, I consider this fall in that category. It's, well, and the history of it with the owner that lived in it, and now his son. It's great to have it there.
Yeah, I was there as well. Beautiful house, clearly needs some love. It's, I mean, the history of the house is pretty amazing. Even the archive that you've got of the drawings and all the records in the back. I wish you luck in trying to find an institution to take those. Because they belong there. But yeah, it was a really nice sidewalk. Beautiful neighborhood, beautiful house.
Well, I'll move to approve it. I have the language in front of me. This page and you're looking at. Oh, okay, so we recommend that we make a recommendation to the city council to enter into a Mills Act contract on 203 Oakland Avenue. And
Yeah, I'll second it.
Oh, no, you have to take it.
Commissioner Cross,
yes,
Commissioner Ding,
Yes.
Commissioner Severson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Morrish. Motion carries.
Thank you guys very much. Good luck. And we will move on to item number 6 on our agenda. Is that where we are?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, 6.
Item number 6, which is 1209 Indiana Avenue, which is another Mills Act application.
Good evening, Vice Chair, members of the commission. My name is Dean Flores, Senior Planner with the Community Development Department, presenting on this item tonight. Just a brief background. So this project started back in August of 2023. A letter of intent was filed with the city to file a Mills Act application. In May of 2024, the CHC formed a subcommittee consisting of Commissioners Ding and Severson. In July, a formal Mills Act application was filed by the applicant's representative, Debbie Howell. And on July 30th, the subcommittee and staff visited the site. And after the site visit, the subcommittee determined that the property merits consideration by the commission. For this particular property, the home itself is designated as a historic landmark, which was designated earlier this year. As stated previously, the CHC is a recommending body for the Mills Act contract to the City Council. The subject site is located south of Monterey, west of Indiana. The existing home was originally built in 1911, and again is designated as as an historic landmark. As shown here, the front elevation was built, excuse me, in craftsman architectural style with the Swiss chalet subtype. And the key characteristics include a 2-story mass, generally symmetric design, sheathing materials such as horizontal wood siding and wood shingles, a porch with decorative wood posts, and wood frame windows. So as part of the work plan, it's 3 main items: re-roof and any necessary repairs, as the roof is in disrepair with some leaking. So that's one of the main items that the homeowner is proposing. Secondly is a repair of the exterior wood, the shingles, and any wood siding, the balcony railing, roof eaves, and overall repainting as necessary. And lastly, a geotechnical evaluation or a report for the site, as at the rear of the site, there is a retaining wall that's retaining lots of soil, and that in and of itself is disrepair. And the staff feels that that qualifies as, maintaining the structural integrity of the home, as if that fails, then so too the house would be affected by it. As shown here, the proposed work totals under 90,000, approximately 190,000. The scope of work from 2027 to 2033. So again, staff finds that the criteria has been met for the proposed Mills Act contract, including the financial investment. As shown, the proposed investment exceeds the estimated tax savings. And the scope of work is in line with the criteria. So right here is the breakdown of the proposed work as shown, estimated as slightly above the estimated tax savings of 186,000, with an estimated cost to the city over a 10-year period of $53,199. That said, staff recommends that by making this motion, that finding that the project is exempt from CEQA, and recommends that the commission recommend to the city council to enter a Mills Act contract for the property located at 1209 Indiana Avenue. And that concludes my presentation. Staff's available for any questions that the commission may have. Thank you.
I have one comment, and that is that in the report, it says that the subcommittee was somebody that it wasn't. It was actually myself and Commissioner Lopez.
No, vote.
Oh, is it?
So, Vice Chair Marsh, that was for the landmark, the proposed landmark designation, and then,
Right, okay.
yeah.
Yes.
yes. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Some questions of staff. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So the applicant was not available for this meeting, but
I'm sorry, well, I will open the public hearing. Do we have any comments from the public?
We have not received a request for public comments in chambers, and there are no attendings on Zoom for tonight on item number 6.
Then I will close the public hearing. Session.
Another lovely site, beautiful house, gorgeous detailing. Yeah, I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah, really cool house, really cool house.
Definitely, yeah.
Mhm.
So does anybody want to make a motion to recommend this to the council?
Commissioner Cross, do you have any comments or
No.
input?
No comment.
I'll make a motion to find 1209 Indiana Avenue exempt from CEQA, and that the Cultural Heritage Commission recommend to the city council that they enter into a Mills Act contract for this property.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Cross,
Yes.
Commissioner Ding,
Yes.
Commissioner Severson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Morrish.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. All right, that is the end of our public hearing items. We are now on to item number, oh, wait, are we? Where? are we? Yeah, 7. Comments from the city council liaison who is not present today. So we go to number 8. Any comments from commissioners?
No.
No comment.
I would make one comment. I didn't hear the discussion about the item that was continued, but we made this comment once before that since we're a small commission, I think we really should look at whether we get alternates or something for when we have, since we are only 5 people, if one has to be recused like myself and one is absent. I hate making applicants wait 30 and 60 and 90 days. It just seems wrong. So maybe there's a way, we at one point talked about having alternates that could serve on both DRB and CHC and whatever. It just, I think we should rethink that if we can in the back of our minds, because it's a bummer when applicants have to wait just because one of us can't be there, and I get that, but
Time, money.
yeah, I mean, it's money. So I just want to go on the record as saying, I know you guys have 1,000 things to do, but that feels like something we should try to address, because it's a bummer when it happens.
thank you, Vice Chair Morris. I definitely appreciate the feedback. I'll definitely, make that comment to the our deputy director, and yeah, we'll see.
So any comments from subcommittees?
Yeah, we just have two. I'm on two. I think it's 1716 Wayne. It was Braulio's. I don't know who's gonna take over that project, but that's been quiet for a while. And then 227 Oakline is the Mills Act, which Michael was saying will be pushed until next year.
And then comments from staff?
Thank you, Vice Chair Morris. Commissioners, that's a perfect segue. I did want to introduce our new associate planner, Michael Donovan. He comes to us from the city of LA, and we're excited to have him on board. He's hit the ground running and look forward to working with him more closely.